Okay guys, so it's time for an entire news roundup for everything in the last couple of days relating to Captain Marvel. Now of course Captain Marvel is going to be a big focus for Marvel going on forward, and we are anticipating her debut in Avengers Infinity War, which is why she was cast so early, much like Chadwick Boseman and Tom Holland were cast for Captain America Civil War. But recently when he got to sit down and kind of talk to fans after the Doctor Strange 15-minute showing, Captain Marvel did get brought up in the conversation, and Kevin Feige had a few things to say. He says, and I quote, "Black Panther is not really an origin story, since we saw him already in Civil War, but his standalone certainly introduces you to 99% of his world that you never saw. And Captain Marvel is certainly an origin. It's an origin story from the start." So you kind of have to listen to what he's saying. Black Panther, obviously, like I said, he got his introduction in Civil War, and we saw how he gets the suit. You know, now whether he's had it before or not, whether he was hiding now, whether he inherited the suit once his father died, we don't really know. But the big thing here is you don't really need an origin for Black Panther. All you needed was a quick snippet, and that's what we got in Civil War. And then that was dealt with, and they could move on past that. When you look at Captain Marvel, this is a more complex story about her origin and everything that involves her. And when you think about how they're framing it, is you're probably going to see her in Avengers Infinity War, but she's probably just going to be working for the military. Hell, maybe she'll be working for the new S.H.I.E.L.D. that's just been reintroduced to the world in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I think that's mainly due to the fact that you can't tell her origin story in something like Infinity War, because that's going to take away from the rest of the movie. Specifically, if she's there and then she gets all these powers and she's like, oh, check out my powers. Well, I guess I gotta, take away time now to learn how to use them and everything. That takes away from the impending threat, which is going to be Thanos and whatever his army is. So that's a huge problem, and you definitely can't have that going on during a giant buildup of a movie. That just doesn't make sense. So I'm definitely understanding what he's saying here is, yes, you're gonna get Captain Marvel's origin, and it's gonna be probably handled just like Doctor Strange. It's a full-on origin. There's nothing to be thrown off, and despite what any scooper out there says, they're probably wrong because they're just pulling stuff out from random quotes that aren't coming even from the man in charge. So that's pretty much that, and you guys can let me know your thoughts on this down below.